Well, Henry!
You wouldn't happen to know what Fritz and Matthew did here, would you?
Don't even talk to me about that. They weren't badly injured compared to most of the others here, and after lying in bed for a while, they got bored. So they started drinking. I'm trying to help people in dire need, and the two of them are drinking! With that cretin Elias.
They always have been thoughtless, but at least they were punished for it. Who is this Elias, anyway?
One of the ordinal monks who helps out here. He was the one who brought the booze. All three of them got friendly pretty fast. You know what they say about birds of a feather.
And do you know what got between them?
I don't have a clue. 1 minute they're the best friends in the world, and then a lot of yelling and furniture flying around. They threw Fritz and Matthew out straight afterwards.
What kind of person is this Elias?
A timid kind of fellow.
And why is he being so hard on Fritz and Matthew? They're drowning in debt because of him, and it seems all they had was a small fight.
I don't know. He was the one who wanted to befriend them in the first place. I don't believe it's because of any property damage they did. It's got more to do with wounded pride.
Thank you. That's all I need.
God be with you.
Quiet!
I heard you had a fight with Fritz and Matthew.
Heathens.
So it was you they fought with?
Yes, it was me. And I hope I'll never have to see those wastrels again.
They deserve to be ousted, but the debt? How are they ever going to pay it?
I really don't care. Let them live in penury. Brutes.
I'm surprised you see it that way. They only talk about you with respect.
Really? Them?
Of course. They said you fight like a bull. And they hope you'll have a beer with them sometime again.
Well, definitely. Men will fight sometimes. I'm sure we'll settle this debt somehow. God be with you.
I've got something for you. I got them from Uncle Peshek. Just don't go poking them where you shouldn't.
They're lockpicks. They're not really intended for poking in your own locks.
True, but at least don't get caught. And if you do, you didn't get them from me.
Matthew and Fritz send their regards.
They survived. My God, I'm glad. They helped me out a lot. And where did you see them?
In Sasau. I bumped into them in front of the tavern. Where else?
And how are they doing?
They're doing fine. The monks brought them back to health. But they don't have work, and they're in debt. You wouldn't happen to know of any jobs going for two lazy carpenters?
Not here. And I think it will be the same in all of Ratai. It's overcrowded with refugees, and they're all looking for work.
That's bad. Those two need work badly. To keep them out of mischief. You know what they're like.
I do indeed. Try the mills in the smaller hamlets. The miller in the Dechko is old. Maybe he could use some strong hands.
I will. Thanks. To me. Yeah.
sprinkled with the bloody tear. Good health to you.
Would you teach?
Certain.
I'd like to.
All right. Now, God be...
Yeah.
God save you, good night. What can I do for you?
Is there any work here for carpenters?
Are they locals?
From Skalitz?
Then no. I only take in people I know. God be with you.
I hope I can be of help to you, knight.
Teresa, the millmaid, sent me. She said you could use some help.
Some extra pairs of hands would be useful. What do you have in mind?
My friends, two survivors of Skalitz, are looking for work.
And why should I take them?
They're experienced carpenters.
Why not? Carpenters would be helpful. There's a lot of work here at the mill, and I'm not as spry as I used to be. Thomas, my foreman, tries his best, but he ain't up to that kind of work. But they aren't idlers and drunks, are they? I only take in people who are willing to do hard, honest work.
I'm from Skalitz, and I know them both personally. They worked in the royal mines, and their master couldn't praise them highly enough.
In the Skalitz mines? That's skillful work. I'll be glad to talk to them. Tell them I'll give them a chance. We'll talk about pay and a roof over their heads when they get here.
See you later.
Yeah!
How come you're wearing...
I have everything you ordered, Master Butcher.
Excellent. Show me... looks good. And now I've got a bit of a...
How's that?
The bailiff came here. Seems someone told him I've been selling game. He started making all sorts of threats. But then I suggested we could come to an agreement. His daughter is getting married, and I offered to put on a game feast for him. So, we're going to need a whole lot of game for that.
Jesus. Oh well, I'll see what I can do. I have everything.
Splendid. Look, I don't have time for this. See you later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
About your bro.
how the fuck do you know about him?
Your best friend settled the matter.
You're serious?
Absolutely. All you have to do is go to him and promise you'll pay the debt somehow.
We won't forget this. On my honor. Thanks. See you later.
The miller in Ledechko would be happy to meet you.
You really found work for us?
Of course. The couldn't bear to look at those sour faces of yours a moment longer.
Thanks, Henry. Only
What?
the reward we talked about, well, we haven't got 2 groschen to rub together.
Nah, that doesn't matter. You'll pay me when you have it.
That we will. Stop by and visit us in a week. We'll pay you back as soon as we get our first wage. See you later.
Greetings. What? Goodbye.
Is there anything I can do for you?
As it happens, there is. Drahomira, a widow from Ledechko, requested my services. But it's a long way on foot, and me with my back in such dreadful pain. I simply can't face the journey.
All the way from Ledechko? What, they don't have a herbalist there?
They do, but she didn't want a local. She's a rich widow, inherited a butcher's shop. You know how folks like to gossip, especially about anyone who's better off than them. Do you know anything at all about exorcisms?
Exorcisms?
You know, banishing ghosts, smudging, spells.
A haunted butcher shop. All in a day's work for me.
It's not a task to be undertaken lightly. This is a real ghost, the spirit of a dead man who hasn't found peace. In order to banish him from the world of the living, you'll need to do a few things.
Slit a black cock's neck on the poor soul's grave?
What a despicable thought! No. Do you know what smudging is? You'll need 10 poppies and some flowers from the deceased grave. Once you have all that, bring it to the house that's being haunted. Light it on fire, and the smoke will purge the place of any unwanted spirits.
Sounds like fun. I'll help you.
It's no game. It's a very serious matter. Drahomira was terrified, and these aren't forces to be meddled with lightly.
Fine. Is there anything else I should know?
That's a question for Drahomira. You'll find her in her cottage on the very edge of Ledechko. Good luck, then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Good God! What happened to your clothes? If you were robbed, you should report.
The herbalist Kunhuta sent me. I'm here because of the ghost.
You don't look like you know a thing about ghosts. Why didn't she come herself? Why did she send someone so young instead? Do you know anything at all about exorcisms?
She was in too much pain to make the journey. But you can trust me. I know what I'm doing.
You'd better. Well, get to work then.
There's a few things I need to know first.
I'd rather you just got on with it. But I don't suppose I've got any choice. So ask.
What exactly's been going on?
It happens at night. Every night now an apparition comes to me and I can't get a wink of sleep. I can't take it anymore.
Whose ghost is it?
His name was Alois and he had a farm not far from Ledechko. A few years ago, his farmhouse burned down with him in it.
I've heard that people who die such horrible deaths seldom rest in peace. Why do you think he chose you of all people?
How am I supposed to know? Maybe because we're neighbours. We grew up together as children.
I suppose that makes sense. Where is Alois buried? For the exorcism, I'll need flowers from his grave.
He's laid to rest in the Sasau cemetery by the wall. His grave is a bit overgrown with vines. I've been there a few times for a visit. The first day he appeared, I prayed at his grave, but he came again just the same.
I know everything I need to know.
Then for God's sake, perform the ritual as soon as possible. God be with you.
I'm back with the incense. Can we begin?
Good. Let's go to the cross in the bedroom. Well, what are you waiting for?
I feel a bit out of my depth. This is my first time.
Now you tell me. Well, get started. You've got the flowers, so it has to work.
Well, here goes. Pater noster qui est in canis sanctificator omen tuum.
Are you sure you're saying that right?
Shh! I mustn't be interrupted. In nominate partis et filiis et spirits etc. Ave Maria gratia plenti dominatrix tecum. Glory be to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. O Lord, may he rest in eternal peace, and may eternal light guide his way. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please God, I can finally sleep in peace at night. Come by tomorrow to see if it worked.
So, did it work? Is your home free of the ghost?
Oh, you're here, are you? You're lucky I didn't have to get you myself. No, it didn't work. The spirit came just the same as before, and I didn't sleep a wink.
So you're saying I won't get my reward?
You get paid for results, my dear, and I haven't seen any yet. At least now I know that old wives' law doesn't help. Go and see Apothecary Coniash in Ratai. I hear he's familiar with all manner of magic.
Have you tried drinking a poppy decoction? I could prepare one for you.
Do you honestly think I haven't tried that? Well, I have, and it doesn't work.
Fine. I'll go and see the apothecary. Hopefully we'll come up with something that works.
Good health. Goodbye.
Henry, I'm glad you came.
Greeting. Goodbye.
Good health to God be with you. Good luck, Dan.
God be
with you.
Do you know anything about getting rid of wandering souls?
The Wrestler's dead? I might know a bit about that. It depends who wants to know. I wouldn't want to be accused of heresy.
Oh, come now, Konyash. You helped me once before, so I'd like to ask you for something again.
Fine, you're right, Henry. I won't lie to you. I'm interested in occult teachings and a bit of alchemy. It's far more than just old wives' tales. I truly believe it's a science. So what exactly do you need?
To help a village woman from Ledechko. Her neighbour's ghost has been haunting her. He visits her every night.
You don't say. Now this is interesting. Revenant spectral beings, cursed souls from beyond the grave?
Yes, exactly. Her house is haunted.
To put it vulgarly, my lad, to put it vulgarly. But there are spells that can banish restless souls back to the realm of the beyond.
Now that's what I wanted to hear. And do you know the spells?
Well, I'd like to learn at least one. But the only book I know that contains them has been classified amongst the Libri Prohibiti.
I've no idea what that means.
The spell's written in a forbidden book. A book that's in Latin and kept under lock and key in the monastery. It's called Liber de Mortuis, Necronomiconos. Do you need to know any more?
Do you want me to steal the book?
If you want to get rid of that revenant, you have no other choice. When you bring me that book, we can cast the spell together, since you don't know Latin.
Fine. I'll bring the book.
You'll find it in the monastery library. But it won't be easy to get in. Truth be told, I don't know of anyone who is able to break in and out without getting into big trouble.
I'll try. Wait here for... Stay.
God be with you.
I've got the book.
Really? You're a fine fellow. Well, show me it then.
Here it is.
Wonderful. Come back in a little while. I need to read through it and find that spell. And here's a reward for your efforts.
What happened to you?
Sir, if you only knew. He told me he'd marry me, even though his mother. And then they killed him. They killed him, the dogs. And his mother told everyone it was my fault. And now I have a child and we live like beasts in the woods. I hide in the woods at night and during the day beg here at the roadside. Wouldn't you have a little bit of food for me, sir? Even a crust of stale bread? I haven't eaten for days.
Don't you want to go to Rattay? There are other refugees there. Someone will take care of you.
No, sorry, sir, but I won't go there. I've heard what happens there. Wouldn't you have a morsel of food for me, sir? I haven't eaten for 3 days. Everything I find, I give to the little ones.
Of course. Here you are.
May God reward you for your kindness.
Greetings, Henry.
Are you happy here?
It's not worth a damn. If I had any choice, you wouldn't see my heels for dust.
What's happened? Did you two get yourselves into trouble?
A fine friend you are, assuming it's our own bloody fault.
Oh, come on. You know what you two are like. I had to ask.
Well, perhaps with that monk. But now, the foreman's got it in for us. If he could, he'd skin us alive.
I'd never have guessed he's like that.
Well, get a job here as a hand and you'll soon see.
And what does he do during the day? Does he work with you?
Good one. He keeps his eye on everything, but his hand only touches the saw when the miller shows up, which isn't that surprising.
Why?
The last time he did anything, he almost took his thumb off with a chisel. I wouldn't put an axe in those paws of his either.
So he's clumsy and arrogant. That's what you said about your last master, that Nimoy.
Aye, but at least you could sneak away from old Nimoy for a bit. No chance of that around here.
Always forcing you to work, is he?
If only. That wouldn't be so awful. But nothing we do is good enough for him. There's always some reason for him to yell at us.
I can imagine.
You know what it's like. We do too little, and it takes us too long, and what we eat's worth more than the work we've done, and it's no fun listening to that sort of shit day after day.
And the miller won't stick up for you. I would have thought all the yelling would drive him mad.
Not really. He trusts that loudmouth bastard more than us. He's got us down for a pair of parasites.
I see.
What's so stupid is the mill really needs us. They haven't had any hands here for quite a while, and the mill needs a lot of fixing. But with them around, we can't even get to work.
And you definitely don't... You don't ever provoke him?
I've already told you once, he's an arsehole. I'd say there's nothing we can do about it. If he wants to yell at us, he'll yell at us.
Have you tried talking with him?
What do you think? but that just sets him off. He starts saying we're practically bandits, and what he's going to do about it. That gets Fritz going, and he starts yelling too, and...
And what do you want to do about it? Just run away?
Actually, I'd like to stay here, at least for a bit. I never would have thought I'd like working in a mill, but not with him around. It's unbearable, and there's no one I can complain to. But you could.
Me? Do you think they'll listen to me?
They did once already, didn't they? They hired us because of you. You could have another word with them.
Back then, making promises was enough. Now, it will be worse.
You can forget about the miller. It's Thomas you need to convince. The miller takes his opinion seriously. So, will you do it for us? Again?
Fine. I'll try and talk to him.
I'm glad. But try not to get on his wrong side. You won't get anywhere with him then.
I'll keep that in mind.
Take care.
I hope I can be of...
So what do you think about the workers I brought you?
If I hadn't put in a good word for them, the miller would have thrown them out by now.
It's good they have someone to look out for them.
Goodbye.
Glad to fucking see you, Henry.
Matthew told me your foreman's a fool, and you're not exactly filled with Christian love for him.
You better believe it. I'd like to pay him back for everything and drown him in the river.
Drown him? What's he done to you?
It was the first or the second day here. We had a disagreement and I told him off. And then, all of a sudden, we're fighting and that fucker just throws me in the river. I nearly drowned.
Well, how did you get out? I thought you couldn't swim.
I can't. They pulled me out. I was up to my waist in water.
I see. Well, I'd be pretty fucking angry too. So you want to pay him back?
Exactly. I don't give a shit about anything around here, but that bastard's in need of a good trouncing.
I spoke with him briefly and he doesn't seem so horrible.
Then you ought to try working with him. He's a sneaky bastard and arrogant. You should see how he puffs himself up when he's off to play dice with Lawrence.
Who's Lawrence? Another mill hand?
Aye, but at the neighbouring mill. They call him the Wren. Damned if I know why. Thomas goes there to play dice with him.
What about the others at the mill? Are they awful as well?
The miller's an old fool. He believes every word that comes out of Thomas's mouth. It's hopeless. And then there's the miller's daughter. She's a pretty lass, and kind with it. And what can she do? Nothing. Not that it stops Matthew going to see her. But Thomas is the root of the problem.
Do you think he's jealous? Is she a sweetheart?
He might make puppy dog eyes at her, but most of the time he just struts about like a peacock. I really don't think she's the problem.
And what do you want to do about it? Do you think you can come to an agreement?
No fucking chance. Matthew hopes so because he likes it here. It's true the work's better than the mines, but the pay's worse.
So how do you plan on dealing with it? Leaving?
Perhaps. But first, I want to give Thomas a proper trouncing. I mean a real thrashing.
And you think that will help?
Maybe. Maybe it'll knock some sense into that fat head of his. Or he'll be too frightened to mess with me.
That might help.
So why don't you arrange a fight with him? If we win, he'll leave us alone. Oh, we could...
What?
We could lure him off someplace far away and then wait for him. Maybe to play dice with Lawrence. He would have to go through the dark woods.
I'll think about it.
See you later.
About those two.
It's a wonder I still let them hang around.
But you need the help anyway. And they're pretty handy.
Maybe, but they're in no danger of overworking themselves. They act like they're too good for the mill, and I saw them eyeing up Jane.
Nothing strange about that. She's a pretty girl, and she's of an age to marry.
It's not marriage they've got on their minds. They'd have their way with her, then before her belly started to grow, they'd have run for the hills.
Look, we can reach an agreement. You need the mill fixed, they need the money. If they have peace to do their work, they'll be able to finish it faster.
But...
And then they'll take their groschen and leave. The mines will open again, and the faster they get their money, the quicker they'll be gone.
But do you really think I can trust them to do it? Will they do their work and leave? And leave Jane alone in the meantime?
Of course. They're not interested in the mill. They just need the coin to pay their debts. Once they've got enough, they'll have no reason to stay here.
I never thought we could sort it out this way.
I've known them for a long time, and you can rely on them when it comes to this. Everybody will be better off.
All right. If they keep their part of the bargain, I'll even give them a few extra groschen. But woe betide them if they don't. You can tell them that. God be with you.
Greetings, Henry.
It took some doing, but I made a deal with him.
I'm glad to hear it. So we can stay here? He'll leave us be?
He'll leave you alone, but there are conditions. Once you finish your job, you'll vanish from here. But you'll get an extra groschen or two for your troubles.
And that's it? I thought... Never mind.
Oh, and you're to stop dallying with the miller's daughter. Keep on mucking about with her and you'll muck things up for yourselves.
The fucking bastard. He can go fuck himself. He'd better give us enough groschen to make it worth it. But I suppose I should thank you. You may have bought us some peace and quiet, and that's better than nothing. Here's something for your help.
I'd like you to
Certainly.
I want to...
You can't become...
Well...
Take care.
Have you read it?
Oh, Henry, it's a marvellous book. Wonderful, really. I've found what we need, but it won't be easy. The spell must be said over the grave of the person preventing his soul from resting in eternal peace, while burning something from the house he lived in.
Ugh, of course. It couldn't be something easy, could it?
Who said meddling with the dead would be a walk in a rose garden? You'll probably have to ask your widow a few more questions. Once you know everything, get something from his house, and find the grave of the person that's preventing him from resting in peace. Then come see me, and we'll get to banishing that ghost.
Jesus, and I thought the living were troublesome. I saw the apothecary and he reckons that ghost of yours is quite a problem.
You think I don't know that? Last night I didn't get a wink of sleep. I lay in my bed, tossing and turning, just waiting for him to appear.
And did he come?
For a long while it seemed like nothing would happen. Then, towards the morning, the room grew cold as the grave. My poor heart nearly stopped beating when I heard a voice calling my name. So I fell to my knees and begged the Virgin Mary to protect me. When will this all end? You must work quickly. If this goes on much longer, I'll lose my mind. I know I will.
To get rid of him, we need to cast a spell over the grave of the person who's preventing him resting in peace. I'm not sure who that person is, though. You haven't already picked out a gravesite for yourself, have you?
No. Henry, the truth is, I haven't told you the whole story. I'm not the one he's got unfinished business with.
Well, who is it then? I suggest you tell me everything.
Alois had a wife. Her name was Lada, and she was a proper shrew, shrieking at him from sunrise to sunset. He never spent a single pleasant day with her. They must have fought like dogs. One night, Lada took a lantern and burned the whole farmhouse down with Alois inside.
That sounds awful. No wonder Alois can't rest easy.
When Alois died, Lada lost her mind. She spent days running about the woods near Tarnberg, completely witless, until one day they found her body deep in the woods. Her hair was all pulled out, her face scratched up with her own fingernails. They buried her there, where they found her, but I don't know exactly where to look.
I'll ask around. For the spell, I'll need something from the house where the spirit once lived. Where exactly did Alois live?
It's north of here, to the left of the road from Ledechko. But there's not much left of it these days except ash and weeds. The farm was burned to the ground with Alois inside.
Oof, that must have been a terrible death. I don't need to know anything else. I can head off now.
How's it going?
I hear there's a grave in the woods round here. Do you know how I can find it?
You mean where they buried that mad woman? They say on some nights her ghost wanders the woods. But you'll find the grave when you head up to the woods and keep some way off to the right from the stream. It's hard enough to see in daylight. If it's dark, you're sure to get lost.
Thanks. I'm sure I'll find it.
If I were you, I wouldn't go looking for it. It's not a good place. See you later.
Yeah. Everything burned to the ground. But they're dead. I'll take some of these pieces of charred wood. Yeah. This must be it. May she rest in peace, Lord. I have everything we need.
Excellent. In that case, I'm ready too.
Let's meet after dark at the crossroads beyond Ledechko.
I'll be there.
God be with you, Henry.
Come with me. We can go and get some sleep.
Ziana Kanba, Zikia Kanba, Galubara, Namtabara, Ashakbara, Kikimbara, Ziana Kampa, Zikia Kampa, Galubara, Namtabara.
One, that's what matters. Just keep going.
I think that's enough. The ghost must surely be banished by now. Now let's get out of here before something worse appears. Go and see the widow tomorrow to find out if it helps. I'm going home.
Thanks for the help.
Yeah.
God grant you help.
We cast a spell over Lada's grave. It wasn't for the faint of heart.
Mary, Mother of Mercy. And not even that helped.
What? Do you mean to tell me it was all for nothing?
Only the Lord himself can help me now. I'll need the parish priest.
Well, why didn't you go and see him right at the start?
What would he think of me? Herbalists have always handled ghosts. But now what other choice do I have? Go and ask him what I can do.
Fine. I'll go and see him. But I swear this is the last thing I'm doing for you.
You have my gratitude. Take a few groschen for everything you've done for me so far. Once the ghost is gone, you'll get more.
What am I supposed to do?
Go and see the priest. Tell him about the restless spirit that's haunting me. God be with you.
God's bless.
Can I sleep?
All right. For how long?
How about...
No problem. You'll like it.
Is there any...
Nothing out of the... See you later.
There's a widow being haunted by a ghost. Can anything be done about that?
A revenant? Tell me more about it.
For the last few nights, a long-dead neighbour has been paying her a visit in her house. She's tried to drive him out, but neither prayer nor spells have any effect. That's why she's turning to you for help, Father.
In the scripture, it's written that the dead shall rise again only on the day of judgment. I suspect it may be something on the widow's own conscience that's haunting her. Do you know anything more about that?
Well, she says it's the ghost of Alois, a farmer whose wife burned him alive in his own cottage.
My. That would make a soul restless, all right. But I believe there must be something else that's keeping the widow from sleeping. A farmer, a jealous wife. I'd ask the widow if there's not more to it.
My God, that never occurred to me.
How little you know people. Make the widow tell you everything, you'll see. And to make amends with the deceased as well as the Lord, tell her to erect an atonement cross.
A what?
You ask as if you've fallen from the stars. An atonement cross. You often see them along roads. Reminders of reconciliation and forgiven trespasses. Suggest it to the widow and see how she reacts.
Yeah. Thank you for the advice. It was very helpful.
I shall pray for the poor woman. And I'll be grateful in turn for any donation she may decide to make to the church. God be with you.
Good health to you.
I saw the parish priest.
And what did he tell you? Will he come and bless my house with holy water?
No, a better question is, what haven't you been telling me?
I've already told you everything.
I feel you haven't told me everything. Was there something between you and Alois?
There's no use denying it any longer. I was a widow and his wife Lada. She wasn't the kind of woman who filled her husband's heart with joy. Alois and I grew close.
So, fornication?
If that's what you want to call it. From time to time, we took comfort in each other's arms. Lada found out and began to make a fuss. They fought. You know the rest.
You couldn't have known it would end up the way it did.
Perhaps I couldn't, but I still reproach myself over it every night. For years now, I've been living with what I did. I suppose it's only just that it's finally caught up with me. My poor Alois and the children he left behind.
I assume his children know nothing about it.
They're already adults, but you're right. They don't know anything. Do you think it would help if I told them everything? That it would bring peace to Alois and he'd stop haunting me?
I think you're on the right path now. Make up for old wrongs. Atone for your sins. Erect a memorial cross.
You're right. I'll go and tell them the truth, however much they despise me afterwards. I'll do anything to get a good night's sleep again. Here's some money. Go to the quarry and order a cross be made.
I'll do that.
Thank you 100 times over. God be with you.
Yeah.
I must reward you for saving my livelihood. If folk believed the stories, well, I dread to think how it could have ended up.
But the bad stone wasn't even from your quarry.
Still, sometimes words can hurt a man more than a blow from a mace. Here's your reward. You've earned it, lad.
I need to erect an atonement cross. How much does one cost?
10 groschen. We already have one such cross ready, so if you pay now, we can have it sent wherever you want immediately.
Here you are.
Good luck, then.
What do you think? Will he come again?
I'm sure we've seen the last of him. Oh, feels so light I could float away at peace with the world.
That's a peace I have yet to find. As you've seen for yourself, shaking off the past isn't easy.
Here's a ring my husband left me. I don't even know where he got it, but it might be worth something. Take it, with my gratitude.
I'm glad I was able to help.
Thank you, and God be with you.
And with you. I hope you'll finally have peaceful dreams. I see you know how to wield a sword, Father. I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick.
Do you have any work that needs doing?
My dear lad, I have more worries than I can bear. Another pair of shoulders would ease my burden. I have to deal with a local witch.
A witch?
The herb woman, old Gertrude. That devious hag who'll stoop to anything. Like all herbalists, for that matter.
Oh, don't tell me. The cows are giving blood instead of milk, and babies are being born with 2 heads and a tail.
This is no laughing matter. Gertrude isn't evil. She just has peculiar ideas about what's good for people. A little bird told me she incited some Ujet's women to witchery.
A little bird told you, did it?
You know how good people are at seeing the splinter in another's eye and not the beam in their own.
In other words, someone's been gossiping. And what's the problem?
As long as herb women stick to giving psychic to folk and bloated cows, assisting in childbirth, or burning incense in bedrooms to help with sleep, then nothing at all. But this is sacrilege, and it's unsafe. All sorts of molds and lichens and poisonous plants and other foul things go into those concoctions. I'd hate to see her poison some poor gullible lass.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to go and see her and find out what she's been up to. I know she lives in fear of the Holy Church, so tell her I sent you. That will make her talk and think twice about encouraging witchcraft. If you learn that she truly did involve folk in some foolishness, find out all you can and deal with it.
Consider it done.
Good. And never fear. I'm a man who always pays his debts. You'll find Gertrude, the old herb woman, in the woods. Good luck, then.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God save.
I've come from the priest. They're saying you incited some women to witchcraft.
Me? Witchcraft? That's nothing but idle chatter.
You'd be wise to give me a straight answer. I mean you no harm.
As long as it's the truth you speak. Very well. I'll tell you everything. I've done a very foolish thing. It's preying on my mind so much I can't sleep a wink.
But I'm supposed to believe an old witch has pangs of conscience.
Laugh if you like, but it's not a word of a lie. You probably know I sell various magic lotions and potions alongside my herbs. Well, there's one I wish I hadn't sold. You see, Vera, Zlata, and Kuta from Uzhitz wanted a magic ointment from me. I kept refusing them, but in the end I let them talk me into it.
What kind of ointment was it?
One that will show you a world no one else can see, a place of wonder and terror. The flowers might start talking to you, or the earth could swallow you up. I don't know if it's the work of the devil or of God himself, but the ointment has that power. But it could poison any person who doesn't know how to use it right.
So all this talk of witches anointing themselves and then flying to their Sabbaths on broomsticks.
The ointment could make a person see such things. But it was stupid of me letting those foolish women get their hands on it. They could poison themselves or fall off a cliff while they're lost in a dream.
Will you give me the ointment recipe?
It contains belladonna and the herb Paris, both quite poisonous plants. That ought to make you think twice about dabbling with it.
So why did you give them the ointment at all?
Because I'm soft-hearted. You see, one of those women, Vera, lost her whole family in Skalitz. And Zlata's husband was killed. And the youngest of them, Kuta, miscarried with the horror of it all. They said they wanted to use the ointment to speak with the dead and ask them to put a word in with the Lord.
Yeah. I understand how they feel. But I reckon it'll get them nowhere but the ducking stool and the stake.
Judge not, lest ye be judged. I didn't want to give them the ointment, but they offered me a pile of groschen. So I thought how desperate they must be, and I heard their plea.
Their plea or the clink of their coin? And why are you so worried about them all of a sudden? What changed your mind?
I'm losing sleep over it. Firstly, those women don't know what they're doing. And secondly, folk might see it as witchcraft. And do you know what they do to witches?
They burn them alive.
That they do. So don't be surprised I'm worried.
It didn't bother you before, though. What did they want the ointment for?
Each one of them lost a loved one recently, and it's grieving them. They wanted to talk with the dead.
I've heard enough.
If you've heard enough, you must understand why I need your help. Find out from those women what they intend, and watch over them to keep them safe.
Very well. But only because the priest himself asked me to.
Thank you 1,000-fold. I'll go to the Reverend myself and explain. You take care of those women. Goodbye.
Yeah.
What was that noise?
I've heard something about a magical ointment.
Really? I'd like to know where from. And what concern is it of yours, anyway?
The herb woman sent me.
Gertrude? What does she want? More money?
It's not about the money. She's concerned about your health. That ointment can be dangerous, and she wants me to make sure you don't do anything foolish.
She said that? But I can't believe it's all that serious. If she's really worried, tell her to come with us to the crossroads at midnight. But not a word to anyone else.
What are you doing here?
Yeah! Any work going here?
Enough for a dozen men. You could take the place of that useless stable hand Vashek for a start.
What happened? Did he do something wrong?
Just found out that he lost our pie.
Lost it where? In his stomach?
No, Pie was our fastest stallion. A lovely dappled one.
Oh. Well, that's bad news. How did Vashek manage to lose him?
He fell, banged his head, and the horse bolted. Can you fathom it? A stable hand falling off a horse. And then Pie took off at a gallop.
Well, I can't take Vashek's job, but I can try to find your pie.
That would be nice of you. If there's anything you need to know, ask that fool. I was too livid to even speak to him.
Right.
Goodbye.
How's the head?
So even strangers know my shame. Come on, then. Come and take a closer look at Vashek the Blockhead.
I'm not here to mock.
So what is it you want?
I promised the head groom that I'd look for pie.
Well, good luck with that. I've been searching half the day, although I have been seeing double ever since that bang on the head, so it's possible I missed something.
Can you describe pie for me?
Long face, 4 legs.
You did hit your head hard, didn't you?
Yes? Why?
I asked you to describe Pi, not every horse in the world.
Sorry, he's a dappled grey, a stallion, and he's really fast. Though that won't help you much.
Quite the opposite. Where did you fall off, Pi?
Just south of here, between the fields and the woods, there's a crossroads where 4 paths meet. It was around there.
4 paths? So we could have gone anywhere.
Now you see my problem.
When was that?
In the morning. Then I staggered about for a while, feeling as rough as a boar's ass. I was glad to stagger back here in the end.
Fine, I'll go and look for him.
Thanks. If you find him, the groom might go easier on me. Oh, and one more thing.
Well?
Pi's used to taking the bridle ways, so I'd keep to those.
That's useful. Thanks.
God be with you.
Yeah. This will be the crossroads. So where did Pi go? Ah, still fresh. This could be from Pi. Ah, still fresh. Ah, still fresh. Yeah. Yeah.
Clear off! Get out of here! I found that horse! I hope I can be of some...
I'm afraid this horse is a runaway from the Ujit stables. You can't have it.
Fuck off! I don't care where he escaped from. Go find your own horse.
Leave him be and get out of here.
Or what?
Or I'll rearrange your face for you.
You can try, you cocky bastard. God be with you.
Yeah! Yeah. Heal. I found pie for you.
Dear God! What a relief! Between ourselves, he was none too cheap. I don't know what I'd have done if he was gone for good. Here's something for your trouble.
Thank you. Just try not to lose him again.
We'll do our best. God be with you.
What do you want?
I'm here to keep an eye on you.
We don't need anyone looking after us. Who sent you anyway?
Gertrude, the herb woman, sent me.
Is she really that worried about us? Why didn't she come herself?
She's old, and running around at night in the woods isn't good for her health. So she sent me to watch over you.
Oh dear. If you can swear you'll keep your mouth shut, then come with us. But you'll have to act like you're not there. And don't you dare make a sound.
You have my word on it.
Stay out of things. Just watch at a distance. If Gertrude is worrying we might get poisoned, you'll be at hand to help.
Fair enough. You won't even notice I'm here.
Gertrude didn't want to say anything about that, so all we know is what we...
I hear someone coming. Who's there? Is it you, Kuta?
No, I'm still over here.
What's going on here?
Welcome, Prince of Darkness. And make yourself at home.
What would you like us to do? We will fulfill your every wish if you fulfill ours.
Prince of Darkness? What in God's name are you babbling about?
Why are you testing us?
Testing you? Jesus Christ, what have you been smearing on yourselves?
A magic ointment from the herb woman? We are ready to pleasure you, Lord. In return, all we ask is that you rid us of the humans. And if you won't rid us of them, then help us get away from here. Give us riches, so we can start a new life in the city.
I'll give you anything you ask.
I knew it. Thank you, my lord.
In return, you'll have to... Shit. I feel very weird.
Oh, that ointment. You smeared the ointment on me.
Fear not, my lord. Nothing will happen to you. It's all part of the ceremony.
Oh, shit. What the fuck? What did you do to me?
Are you quite well after your long journey?
Huh? Long journey? What?
From the gates of hell to here. When will you take care of the humans? And why don't you have horns and hooves and a goat's tail, like the priest said?
I got rid of my horns and hooves along the way, and I keep my tail in my breeches. I only get it out for special occasions.
I hope there'll be one soon enough.
I flew in on a tree branch. It took no time at all.
Flying on a branch? Will you teach us how to do that too? We are your maidservants now. We'll do anything you wish.
How come you're a talking mare?
What mare? Does your sight deceive you? I'm Vera, and I turn many a young man's head in Uzhitz.
Actually, I wanted something else.
What's that, oh Lord?
Will you serve me and do all I tell you to?
Oh yes, our Lord of Hellfire. We'll do whatever you want. Just rid us of those wretched humans. Which one will you take first?
Me! Take me!
No, me!
And what about the other one? Why doesn't she speak up?
Kuta, you chicken! Speak up!
I want you. Hen. Hen.
That was tough. Oh, but I'm all dizzy again.
What is wrong with you? Is something going to come of it or not?
I need to sleep.
Bugger sleep! What was that? What is it? Someone coming!
Yes!
I'll slay you for that! Bring it on!
Christ! Fuck happened here? Shit!
Oh my god. These are no demons, just flesh and blood woodcutters.
I'll never be able to explain this to anyone. Fucking ointment. Damn that old hag. Now what? I found out more about the Ujit's witchcraft.
Pray, do tell.
The women have got hold of some magic lotion from the herb woman, and they're using it to summon the devil.
For the love of heaven.
I followed them to where they held their Sabbath. They summoned the devil, danced around a fire.
Oh my God, what else?
The women were completely out of their minds from that ointment. Then some woodcutters stormed in. They wanted to put a stop to the witch's Sabbath.
Good God. And what happened?
I had to kill the woodcutters to save those women from them.
For Christ's sake! How could you? Such needless slaughter! Those men meant well. Was there no other way to stop the bloodshed?
The woodcutters were beside themselves with rage, baying for the women's blood. There was no reasoning with them.
There must have been another way.
I did everything I could.
The good Lord observes your deeds. Pray for the souls of those unfortunate Christians. Pray, because you have blood on your hands. At least you see where dancing with the devil can take you. Pray for their loved ones and for your soul and mine, because we share the blame. And now please, go. Leave me alone to pray. See you later.
God be with...
Can we trade?
If you... God be with you.
The Lord save you. What do you need?
I heard you wanted to talk to me, my lady.
It's true. I need something from you.
How can I help?
My cousin, young Sophie, is going to be wed. It will be an entry into a new life, and I want everything to be perfect for her. I'm looking for a few things to give her as a gift, and you're going to find them for me.
My lady, why me?
Normally I'd let the Chamberlain take care of it, but he doesn't have any taste. I can't trust him with this. And I've been told no task is too challenging for you. Is that not true?
It will be my honor, my lady.
I need you to pick up an ornamental crown from Sasau for Sophie, wine from a merchant in Ratai, and a roan from the stable in Ujits.
Who am I supposed to pick up the wine from?
From Conrad Hagen in Ratai. He's the only person in the whole region who can supply a genuinely good wine. And believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Here you go. That should be enough.
And the ornamental crown?
I had the engravers in Sasau make it, but now they've written to say it will take a while longer. That just won't do. The wedding is almost upon us, and I need it. Go and see Master Jeronim Slesky and pick it up.
Who am I supposed to pick up?
From Conrad Hagen, and
You said a roan from Ujits.
Precisely. It's a beautiful animal. Wait till you see it. Dietrich said he'd ride it here himself, but I can already imagine how he'll end up killing himself on that horse. But you, so young and vigorous.
Wine, a roan, and a crown. I can handle that.
Thank you, Henry. I just wish there were others here I could trust so well. Goodbye.
God be with you.
I'd like to...
Certain.
I want to...
All right. Now.
Can you...
Certain.
I want to...
You can't become a...
Well...
Take care.